What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Your guys, Derek and Cody, with you as always. And guys, now that we're less than a month away from the draft, certain things have happened. I think since the last time that we brought up this kind of scenario, we were talking about the best case scenario for quarterback going forward. And obviously, since that video has happened, the Panthers have now taken the number one overall pick from the Chicago Bears. So now we're in a different predicament of where we think things are going to go. So, Cody, we might as well just kind of initiate the conversation. We're assuming that at this moment in time, probably most likely CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are most likely off the board at this moment. Is that what we're assuming?
I would assume so. Yeah. I mean, that seems like what all signs are pointing to is 1-2, however that order would be. Like, I honestly could see a scenario where Stroud goes 1, Stroud goes 2, and Young goes 1 or Young goes 2. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assumption that those two will probably be off the board by the time the Colts would pick up 4.
Yep. So this is all just going to come into fruition here, guys, for what you think is going to end up happening with the fact that CJ Stroud and Bryce Young most likely get taken with the top 2 picks. That's what most people assume is going to end up happening. Of course, if CJ Stroud is still there at 3, I'm all aboard the Indianapolis Colts trading up and going to get him. But of course, we don't assume that's what's going to end up happening. So with that in mind, now we can kind of talk about the rest of this and talk about what we think is best case scenario. So, Cody, I said something about Lamar Jackson before doing this, and I had said that I thought that having Lamar Jackson on this team would be phenomenal. And before, I thought that the money-wise, we were going to be able to maybe think of something better. But from the recent events that I'm hearing, that's keeping me from wanting to go with Lamar Jackson at this point is it's updated now that apparently Lamar doesn't want a fully guaranteed contract. He just wants a contract that has more guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson's contract, which, in case anyone needs a reminder, it was $235 million in guaranteed money. And by the way, folks, for anyone that's wondering about Patrick Mahomes' contract extension that he got, do you know how much money? Do you remember, Cody, how much money he signed for guaranteed? It was 140 million.
Okay.
140 million in guaranteed money, which is less than Kyler Murray, actually, which is an insane prophecy when you're talking about Patrick Mahomes only getting 140 million guaranteed. That's pretty insane.
Right.
But so now here we are in this predicament, Cody. And here's the thing. Listen, I know that with the movement of the NFL, Cody, it's getting to be where the contracts of the quarterbacks are only going up. I understand that. That's just how the flow of the game is. It's harder to find a franchise quarterback in today's world. It's harder to get one of those and keep them around for a lot longer because everybody wants their money. I totally get it. I understand that the contracts are going to get tougher and tougher, but everyone said that contract for Deshaun Watson was a complete travesty and it was a dumb contract. Not a single person in the world thought it was a smart idea to say, hey, Deshaun, we know you haven't played for over a year and you're amidst these sexual assault allegations, but we're going to go ahead and give you a 5-year contract with $235 million. And on top of it, we're going to make it fully guaranteed. You get all of it. We don't have to worry about it ever again. No one thought that was a good contract. Not even a lot of Browns fans thought that was a good contract. And now all of a sudden, because of one bad apple, where the entire quarterback market has now been restructured, now Lamar Jackson wants more of it, even in the fact that he's about to be 27, had injury concerns, and there's question marks about how far into the playoffs can he take you.
Right.
You've got now this dude wants 240, 250 million guaranteed. I'm just at a point, man, where I'm almost willing to say roll the dice on the rookie quarterback, man. I was fully on board with saying that if he wanted like around 200 million guaranteed, then I'd be fine with making that accommodation. But now I'm hearing 250, like that to me is just wild.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, you're 100% on the money there. I would rather with where the Colts are, right? Just take, I know when you roll the dice, Lamar is an instant solution, right? But I guess for me is like with that amount of contract that he's going to ask, you talked about the injury concerns there. I do think just for the Colts, like I know there's a pressure to win now, but I think for the long-term success of them, and also the fact that like you're going to be able to pay some more guys if you roll with a rookie quarterback and you're on a rookie deal, right? You're going to be able to bring in more help for him. I just think like you see teams that go and pay for some quarterbacks, right? I mean, it honestly cripples certain teams, right? Unless you have like the Patrick Mahomeses of the world, like when you go and pay that quarterback the amount they want, it sometimes it blocks you from being able to acquire more talent and keep said talent on your roster. And so I think for the Colts' sake and for Jim Irsay's sake and Chris Ballard's, maybe year one, you do have some struggles, but like I do just feel like you're going to get a rookie quarterback on a 4-year contract. That's going to be very affordable. Yes, they're not a finished product. They're not a Lamar Jackson, but like the thing is you're not locked in long term, right? If you were to go for a rookie quarter, like you are, but you're not. Like if you did with Lamar, you're locked in 250 million, and if he gets hurt, like oh my gosh, but with a rookie quarterback, like you can get out of that, and obviously it would suck, but like you're not paying the guy over $200 million to not perform, or to not be available, and so for me, it makes a lot of sense for the Colts to go the draft route. And that definitely seems like what Jim Irsay is wanting to do. He's wanting to start fresh and wanting a guy that's going to be, there for 10 plus years. And so I just feel like when we're talking about the perfect scenario for the Colts, I do think that, yes, it is tempting to go for the instant, thing, right? It is tempting to go for a former MVP. Absolutely. I mean, we've both been on the train, like we'd be okay with it. Obviously, depending on the price, but like, I just think for the Colts' long-term success, the perfect scenario is for them to do what every other team has done, right? It's not trade for a quarterback. It's trade up or, draft a quarterback or draft the quarterback at, where they're sitting. And again, it's not a perfect scenario, right? Lamar Jackson, we know what he is. We know he's a really, really special player. Like we know that. But with the rookie, I don't know. I guess it just makes more sense for where the Colts currently are right now, and with some contracts that are going to be coming up that they're going to have to pay some guys, and also just allowing this a young core with a rookie quarterback to work together. It just makes a lot of sense to me to go that route as opposed to going the more the instant thing, right? That's just my opinion on it. But I totally understand the people who want Lamar because look at the guy. I mean, he's fantastic.
I'll just say this. If indeed the reports aren't true that the guy doesn't want like 235 million plus of a guaranteed contract. Let's just say that the reports that we're hearing is not true. Then of course I'd be willing to consider, that sort of circumstance where I just tweeted it last night. I was like, or 2 nights ago. I was like, the best case scenario for me, and I'm just spitballing, where like we get Lamar, we give them either the first next year and the first in 2024 or 2025. I don't know if they'll be allowed to do that because of the non-exclusive franchise tag, because I know that they're supposed to get 2 firsts, but I don't remember if that is only for 2023 and 2024. But if it's not that, then I would have loved to have given them that. And then that way with this first round pick, you could trade back, get more picks in the first or second round, and get more depth at premium positions that you need. And then, of course, all the being you could give Lamar a, 4-year contract worth 200 and, $240 million and get like 190 million of it guaranteed or around 200. I don't care. But I think that would have been awesome if we're able to do that. But ultimately, there's other teams that are gonna maybe want to get involved in it because it just seems like the only team that is like interested in getting Lamar is the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, there's just doesn't seem like any other team wants to get in a bidding war for Lamar Jackson right now. And especially since the Ravens are playing hardball and no one actually knows what exactly they want Lamar actually wants because Lamar says one thing, other people are saying another. I mean, if he's indeed not wanting a fully guaranteed contract and that, if he's just wanting a based contract, then that's fine. It's just very hard to go back and forth on this Lamar thing because I have a scenario in my head where I feel like it would totally work. But then again, if it would totally work, it probably would work for a lot of other teams. And it makes me wonder if Lamar was not wanting more money, more guaranteed money than what he is saying he wants, then why is it that there's no other team in the NFL that's calling and wanting to try to make a deal? Because if the contract was not unfair, then there would at least be half dozen teams in the league that would be willing to throw that out there. Like even the Jets said that they were willing to do whatever it took to get a veteran quarterback in this league that could really do a lot of good for them. And Lamar is all of those things for the Jets. That would immediately make the Jets that could make the Jets the favorite in the NFC or in the AFC East, like immediately. And the fact that they're not wanting to do it makes me question what is really going on behind the scenes. I would much rather go with a guy like AR or Will Levis and just roll the dice on it because at least then, if you screw up, at least then you're not tied down to a financial disaster if you screw up. Because then you can, because people don't realize if Lamar does end up not playing, then that screws you for so many more years after. Not only does it screw you for the contract, but then it screws you for multiple years after trying to find the replacement. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those situations where going back and forth on it, if indeed the fact that if it's not full, I don't know what he wants for a contract at this point. I have no freaking idea. And I'm going to just, at this point in time, I'm just going to quit acting like as if I somehow do know. I'm just going to forget it at this point because I don't even know. People say one thing and then Lamar says another, and then all these teams don't want him. It's just so weird. So I would much rather go with Anthony Richardson. Hey, I mean, did you see Anthony Richardson at his pro day today? I mean, man could throw a 75, 80-yard dot. I mean,
the dude freaking hit the roof, man. He hit the roof throwing the pass. That was crazy.
Yeah, he was throwing it all over the place. And I think they said he threw like a 65-yard hitch route and still overthrew the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
There was a video I saw where he just flicked his wrist and threw it 50 yards. Like, bro,
it's insane. These guys are hilarious, man, with their arm strength. I just think at this point, if you're going to go, you just go younger. You mold them into what you want. I mean, I don't know at this point. It seems really funny because I feel like, because I was confident in that Lamar thing yesterday, too. I was confident in that. I'm like, dude, you do that and then give him like a halfway decent contract, then I could definitely see it. But obviously now from what I'm hearing, it makes a lot more sense now on why nobody wants him at this moment. I have no idea, man. This is just wild. And we got another freaking 27, 28 days left of this before we find out. If indeed we don't get Lamar, then we got so long to figure this out.
Yeah, right. It just, You just don't know, man. Like, it's such a crapshoot from day to day. It's like, you go from, okay, this could work to, oh, I don't know. It's like you go back and forth so much based on the information you're given. But yeah, I think regardless, I'm just excited that the Colts are going to have a quarterback that can move and a quarterback that can throw. I mean, that's crazy for me to say because people are like, well, isn't that the quarterback's responsibility? Yes, but if you watch the Colts last year, you'll know exactly why I say that. But I'm just more excited for whoever the Colts get. I think, regardless of it, I'm going to root for him. We're going to root for him. And I think Shane Steichen has one of the best opportunities out of any of these, rookie coaches to develop that quarterback. So really excited for that.
Yep, I guess we'll keep an eye on it, but that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts on the perfect quarterback scenario if you're the Indianapolis Colts going into this next year. Let us know your thoughts on the rankings down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, go Colts.